One of the biggest challenges that I have with online dating is asking questions and being asked questions. It's like going through an interview multiple times, but with different people, and there's usually the same few questions. What do you like to do? What do you do for fun? How do you spend your free time? What do you do for work? It's boring sometimes because it's so the same and repetitive, but sometimes it can be fun and you find people who are interesting and fun to talk to. And I have a mixture of both on my hands as I dive into dating. Hi, I'm Latia, and this is my channel. I talk about my sensuality coaching practice, I talk about my desires, and just what's going on in life in general. And right now, online dating is a thing. So, with this pandemic, online dating has become a bigger thing, I believe, because now we're stuck inside and we're not able to just go out and meet someone randomly on the street. And if you do, you are wearing a mask, so half your face is covered up and you don't really know what someone looks like, and you can't get a sense of like that community and connection that we've been able to have before everything went to heck in a handbasket. So now I am exploring online dating yet again. I've been doing it on and off throughout singleness, which has been a while now since I haven't really had a boyfriend. Yeah, the one boyfriend I had was in high school and it was just not a good situation. And besides that, I've had series of random whirlwind romances and fun flings and long-term friendships with benefits and all sorts of varieties of antics. And now I'm looking to get more on the settled side of life. And with online dating comes the challenge of how do you get to know someone in an online format when all you can do is ask questions? What does that look like and how can you make it fun? I remember within the last few months, there was someone that I was messaging, and I swear he copy pasted his answers because he would ask the same questions. He would repeat the answers almost identically, and it just felt like, what are you doing? Like, why are you so robotic and you have these paragraphs of information for me to read? Like, I'm not that interested in your life yet that I want to learn about like every little hobby that you do. I'm just trying to get a feel for you, and the feeling that I get from you is that you're boring and annoying, and it was just not fun. And I've even had someone who felt like he was too boring for me and he kept apologizing for it, and I'm just like, bro, you don't have to apologize. If you were too boring, I would just stop talking to you. Like, I wouldn't deal with me being bored by our conversation. I'm interested in learning more. I understand that there's more than meets the eye, and I'm willing to work with you to massage out and cajole out the answers to questions and see what sticks and what doesn't. I'm just not, like, when someone's apologizing constantly for being who they are, it just sucks because it feels like you're not confident in yourself and you're still trying to figure out you before you jump into like anything where you're going to be dealing with other people. But that's just my take on it, because it felt like there were a lot of apologies being given, a lot of like, I'm not where I want to be, and a lot of us aren't. And if you're growing and becoming a better version of yourself, that's really all that you can ask, because we're all human and we're never going to be perfect, which is asking a lot from anyone, but especially from an online dating app. Is just putting pressure on yourself to be perfect doesn't work. It doesn't help anyone. And apologizing for being true to yourself also doesn't work, because that's what's true and honest and real. It makes you you, and that's what is the most important thing to be honest about. It's like, yeah, it may be a flaw to you, but you don't know how someone else is going to perceive it. So being yourself is really all you can do, because you can't predict what someone will like. And if you can, there's going to come that day when the facade ends and your true self comes out, and it's just going to be confusing for the people involved in the journey, because like you've been what they wanted for so long that once your true self comes out, it's just difficult, to be honest, and things might fall apart faster than you realize. Or by some miracle, even though you haven't been yourself, like when your true self comes out, maybe it gets better and things are easier for both parties. I don't know. I just know that when it comes to facades, they're usually best in short-term things. Like in the short term, it'll get you what you want, but in the long run, it might cost you more than it was worth. So there have been a few different guys that I've been talking with that are interesting, and I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm not being intimate with anyone. I'm just texting and messaging and having conversations with them. I feel like when people hear that I think that women should have like a hoe phase, I think they think that I mean that they should sleep around with everyone they meet. And I don't believe that that's necessary to get out and date. I really believe that everyone needs a dating phase where you're getting out and meeting different people and exploring what options are open and available to you. I feel like we get so stuck in, I need this one person and I'm only gonna like find my one match and I'm just gonna stick with that one person until our relationship fails, and then I'm gonna go to this other one person, and it's like serial monogamy where you're just always constantly in one relationship after the other, and you don't give yourself a break or space to really know, who am I, what do I want, what did I learn from this situation, and how am I going to do better next time. Like, I know someone, I remember in college, one of my like friends, she told me that she was basically a serial monogamist, and that she did it because she wanted to have sex on a regular basis. And it was just, to me, I felt like, why would you be in relationships constantly just to have sex? If sex is what you want, then do what makes you happy. Like, you don't have to have the cover of a relationship to make you a better person than what you are. And it's unfair if someone does have sex without a relationship to call them out their names, like to make them into a slut or a whore or anything, because that's a choice that they made. Different people can have similar goals and approach them from different angles. Like for me, I wouldn't want a boyfriend just so I could have sex. I would want a boyfriend when I'm looking for that partnership and I'm trying to build something with my future. And that's where I'm at right now, where singleness has been fun. I've enjoyed it. I've made the most of it. And now I'm ready for a new adventure. And I'm looking to share that with a partner. And for someone else, they could be in relationships and want a single phase, or like, there's just so many possibilities, because as humans, we're just a diverse crowd. And what works for me may not work for someone else. And even what works for me may not even work for me. I might get into a relationship and be like, wow, I'm so out of my league. I was just kidding. I don't want this anymore. And I don't want it to be like that. So I want to make sure that as I figure out what am I looking for, how would I like for it to go, what are my deal breakers and all that good stuff, that on this journey, I'm really bringing my truth to the table and honoring what really works for me, because that's what's going to make the difference at the end of the day. It has to work for me. And I explored in the BDSM community a little bit. And when I was in it, I remember having kind of mentors, I guess. But there were like people who were more experienced in the scene than I was. And they were like, it's all about you, what you're comfortable with, what your boundaries are, and you discovering yourself in this space. It's not about pleasing the other person or doing what makes them happy. It's learning about yourself. And I feel like that's what a lot of things are about, and we just don't realize it going into it, because that's not what we're taught to do. We're taught to worry about others and what they think of us and how we come across, instead of, is this authentic to who I really am? Am I living in my truth? And those are the most important things that we can check in on, because at the end of the day, we have to live with ourselves. And to be in integrity with oneself is as great as it can get. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment below, share, subscribe, and have a wonderful day. See you next time.